I think my introduction to Baldface was almost a little bit out of necessity.
It's truly a magical spot to snowboard.
It's kind of incredible how, this place has become this central location for snowboarding culture. When I finally got here, it kind of figured out what really set this place, apart. It wasn't even the terrain, it wasn't even the snowpack, it was the people behind it.
To be able to come here with, a couple of my best friends, we're just gonna go ride.
Knowing that I was gonna get to ride with these guys was a huge, huge excitement for me.
When there's no pressure and you're having fun, you ride better.
This week we have Travis, Erik Jackson, and Mark McMorris out. What an eclectic group of snowboarders that is.
Jeff Pinciero, he's like the uncle you always wish you had.
Baldface tenure is just north of Nelson, BC. It encompasses about 32,000 acres. We get anywhere from 350 to 600 centimeters of snow in a winter.
Jeff Pinciero, with the help of Craig Kelly, founded this place, and really it was built upon principles of we want to snowboard in the mountains.
Coming on a trip like this, the whole attitude, the whole mindset, when Trav first told me about it, was just we're just gonna go ride, we're gonna go ride the course, we're gonna go do free runs, and we're really gonna snowboard.
With what I went through in the last few months on the contest side of things, and then to get to come to Baldface, which is the mecca of snowboarding, with this crew.
Mark McMorris, ladies and gentlemen, bronze medalist, Sochi 2014, here, riding powder.
It's so awesome because I feel like an underdog with Ejax and Travis, and there's no pressure. I'm just trying to keep up with those guys.
Group dynamics, riding with guys like Mark and Erik, it's super helpful. Everyone kind of feeds off each other. That is kind of what feeds a really, productive and high energy day.
It is a real pleasure to ride with Travis. He's so good, it's insane. It's always nice to ride with somebody who is essentially better than you because they just really push you.
Erik is possibly one of the funniest people I know. Best guy to be around, positive vibes, unbelievable snowboarder.
McMorris, manifest destiny. That kid, he freaking worked his ass off for it. At such a young age, he's a freaking household name. It's not just his snowboarding that makes Mark awesome. It's his attitude.
One of the biggest things that stuck out to me was watching Travis in his element. His knowledge and understanding for riding powder, it just opened my mind to a whole new side of snowboarding.
This year, Erik and I have been traveling a lot together. What Erik brings to the table is this constant ability to stay positive and roll with the punches.
First time I ever rode with Mark, actually, was at Supernatural. And he, he rode well, but he had some challenges,
I show up scared, beefless, and pretty much tomahawk down my first run down the course. I had biggest jello legs. I didn't even know what to think or do when I dropped in.
Everyone that has come and stood at the top of that course has had a true and pure, like, holy shit moment. Looking down that thing, doesn't matter who you are.
Just to get all those people in one area, not to mention Baldface, like the sickest place ever, that contest was the coolest thing I've ever been a part of in snowboarding, hands down. I can't even tell you the energy that was there and like how I felt. Like, it gives me like goosebumps just thinking about it.
Travis showed up about 4 years ago when he was filming That's It, That's All. We kind of got to know each other a little bit. And then he came to me and he's like, man, I got this idea for kind of the next level natural selection contest. And I'm looking for this piece of terrain. And it started this conversation. It was a real collaborative effort that we found a piece of terrain that worked for it. And he came out and was really involved that first year, like actually with the chainsaw in his hands, helping us create the course.
So many highlights. Dabari's approach to that terrain, there's probably 3 or 4 things that Dabari did over the 2 years that were just incredible.
Obviously, Gigi Ruff and Nicholas Mueller. You see them in the movies, like watching them do it in real life is so cool. It's a different experience.
Gigi, both years, he did something so incredibly stand out. First year, frontside 3, nose tap with a pillow, beautiful. Second year, airing to elevated catwalk, air off, such a cool feature. John Jay stomping a double over the kicker on his second run. Both years of Hawkinson. Watching Terrier ride, that is truly inspiring. The last 2 years of the event, it was like such a success, having both years work out, go off. This year's a hiatus year. We're kind of stepping back, taking a look at what we were able to achieve. The future of the event itself, it's bright. Just coming here and being able to stand on the course and reminisce on what that contest was and how incredible it was. I think, if anything, it just fueled the fire to keep pushing forward with what's next, that next step, the next event.
Supernatural and the Ultranatural were the beginning. Whether it ends up at Alyeska or whether it ends up at Mammoth or whatever happens with it, we've done a good job of documenting the story so far. I'm so stoked that we got to start it. It's such a cool thing.
Riding park and riding pipe is so demanding. You have the top guys being too old to compete at like 24, 26 years old. Maybe you're starting to find your own voice at 25, 30 years old. I mean, I'm just starting to figure out my voice, right? You need that next level. That's basically what it is. In my humble opinion, it is the future of competitive snowboarding.
The Ultranatural is just on such another level. It could go just like to the extreme, and it will, especially with Travis behind it.
We definitely have really big plans. We've basically been looking at locations all over the world, from Europe to Alaska to Japan.
Craig Kelly took something that he loved and pushed it into a whole nother realm. And I'm watching Travis do the same thing.
I definitely see Craig having an influence on Travis's riding and just the way he wants to do something different, change snowboarding in a way.
Craig's still here in all the people that he inspired. What I'm able to do as a professional snowboarder, he helped set that precedent. Nice work.
That was fun.
I was slashing beside and looking, I was like, ha, that's Travis Rice, that's Erik Jackson, this is just dream come true. Riding epic snow, epic terrain, doing what we love to do, and that's snowboard.
I basically took off, 1 week from filming all season to come shred Baldface with McMorris and Erik. This film project that we were trying to do just started production on basically our third one. It's been a wild ride, no doubt about it. As we were finishing up The Art of Flight, we talked a little bit about, what that next project could be. We've basically spent the last 2 years prepping for this new project. We're in the heart of it right now. This is kind of just what I needed, really. Getting to come here and kind of blow off some steam and just make some laps and do some riding.
I saw a lot of smiles, a lot of high fives. You know what? There was a lot of big airs and setting up jumps, but there's a lot of just good old powder turns, spraying each other in the face, talking a lot of smack.
I was standing up on top of that course today and just looked over at Trav and looked over at Mark and was just gave him a big hug and was just dude, we gotta take a picture right now. This is so fun. I'll never forget this trip. It's been insane.
For this trip to kind of come together the way that it did, come out, Jeff, the most amazing host. It's really, really a pleasure to be up at Baldface again.